But what's up, everybody? I know y'all probably saw like what was like a few days ago that we did a trailer. Well, we watched the trailer Ironheart. But there was a lot of backlash that was going on with this. According to other YouTubers that you see where you see the likes and dislikes. So apparently it had like 500,000 dislikes for the trailer, and it was also was saying that people were saying calling it the N word and stuff like that, or just saying things stupid. So okay, so yeah, just looking at the comments, I want to create some. I kind of create something that already exists. Hey, it works for yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm just gonna like some of these, huh? Yeah, it's just like and I kind of talked about this yesterday. With some people, it's like some people afraid, something change. It's like with WWE, like they want like WWE, change some things and stuff like that. And when they do, or when they try to push somebody, they hate it, and they just whine and complain and stuff like that. So like I said, this character, Ironheart, was existed. They said in the late 2000s, early 2010s. So that's when that character was created, and people like just all in their feelings, just like wow.
Oh, let them be in their freaking feelings. Seriously. If it ain't what they consider mainstream Marvel and DC, people ain't interested.
Exactly.
They can't see all of their like phenomenal characters that are out there that a movie could be made about or a series could be made about. They just like, well, what about Superman? Well, fuck Superman. He's been around since the year dot and has got a million things going on.
Right.
Go read up some of the comic books.
Like black character appears on screen, the music is rapping time. It's just stupid comments like that. It's like, are you serious?
It's like people who want people are okay with having black superheroes as long as they are like Halle Berry playing Storm.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's like Black Panther.
Right.
But the minute a black character steps out and becomes Captain America, for example, or any of the other amazing black characters there are, superhero-wise, then there's a problem.
Right.
It's like, hold on a minute, you're racism.
Right. It's just hip hop is literally one of the most popular genre of music in the world. Not to mention they use hip hop for non-black characters as well. It's all jokes until people start acting like it's a legitimate problem or racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But I think there's probably more comments. I don't know if some of them that were like very, really worse that probably already got deleted.
Probably.
So that's probably what it is. Let's see. Let's see. Just reading some other stuff. Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be a good TV show. Yup.
That's the thing. There's a lot of people who just won't give it a try.
Right. And the crazy thing is, I know it was Marvel was making, some of these, new characters in their Phase 4 and Phase 5, and why some of their movies were, failing because, some people just don't give it a chance.
They don't. But the thing is, there's some people who don't want to give it a chance.
Right. So I know some of these YouTubers be like, we blame like Marvel because of their their quality is not good and stuff like that. I don't know, cause then again, they some of these YouTubers like try to be like they actually done film for like long time ago and stuff like that, and they don't just sit there and watch. They be like they saw one thing, they get disrupted and skip like other like a couple of seconds of what could be good. So I don't know. Let's see. Hey, that's not fair. You can't use logic and spin their argument against another other characters. Even though it's true, nobody likes to talk about the double standard, buddy. Oh, sarcasm. Okay, I'm not gonna get into that. Why do I feel you're bothered that because you're threatened by a genius, particularly a black female genius? Don't know the sarcasm, but I'll do that. What power does she possess? The powers of entitlement and to make majority in America feel black fatigue and low expectations. I don't know. I'm genuinely surprised they haven't disabled. Yeah, we agree. Or they're just saying like the idiots that's out there, making themselves look like they racist. Yeah, this guy's right. Hey, not for nothing, but cheer up. Life is short. Don't waste on being negative about everything. Some things just aren't made for you, and that's okay. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like I'm saying, like some people just let's see. I'm just sorry, y'all. It's just like I just like reading. Yeah, I do like that. Kudos to Disney for encouraging all of us, to read more. Yep.
Come on up then.
Let's see. Yeah, just like it's just basically saying like just some people just cannot be happy or make themselves interested in something. But I know sometimes it's got to be up to the studio to try to make the trailer like interesting, and it was good. I'm not saying it's like the worst, but they was this this series was sitting in the shelf for like 2 years, and it was just like, oh, why Marvel decided to bring it now, and people were upset because what I heard is going to be for 2 weeks, and they're going to release all 6 episodes, like 3 in one week and 3 the other week. But then again, you got like a lot of content that's going on this year too. Like the Eyes of Wakanda is gonna be out in August. Then October you got Marvel Zombies. Then you got Wonder Man in like December. So I think they're probably gonna do with Wonder Man. They're probably gonna release like all the episodes on one take. And sometimes, what they did with Echo, because people thought Echo wasn't going to be good as it is, and it ended up surprising everybody. And it was like one of the big shows of 2024 for them. So, I just don't. It's like one of those things. I don't get some people. Of course, with Daredevil Born Again, it kept his old, antics, like the same thing they did with the first 3 seasons of Daredevil and stuff like that when Netflix was showing them. So, I don't know. Like I said, it's just some people ain't happy. Like, I'll watch every Marvel content, no matter what it is, because I'm a Marvel fan.
Well, we do the same with Marvel and DC.
Yep, Marvel and DC.
We give everything a shot. And there's been a couple of them where I've like, nah, I've watched it all, but it's like, yeah, it's not for me.
Right.
But I haven't slammed it, and I can see why they've done it. I can see where it's going. Mm-hmm. You can see where it ties in. Mm-hmm. And I know that if I don't see it and then I go to a movie and be like, well, what the hell did so-and-so show up from? And it's like, oh, they were in such and such.
Yup.
And as I say, it's...
But they say some fans don't even want to do that.
They don't, but to me, and it is down to them, let's be perfectly honest.
Right.
But, at least give it a shot.
Mm-hmm. It's just like everybody said, the worst TV series they've done so far is Secret Invasion. I actually enjoy Secret Invasion.
I haven't watched it, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's, about Nick Fury and, God, I forgot what they called them things. They was on, the Marvels. And also, Captain Marvel, so... Can't even remember what they were, but anyways, sorry to spoil this, but the end of it, they end up creating a ultimate being that is one of those things, and it's like we haven't heard anything about that thing ever since. So just my only complaint, like the first few episodes of Secret Invasion were, they were okay, but they wasn't like, kept me entertained, especially with my mental mind. Of course, it's like the very last episode, I think it was the best episode out of those 6 episodes. So, like I said, I don't hate it, and I don't think it's like the, if I had to choose between, all the TV series and stuff like that, I would probably have to choose, Secret Invasion being the worst. But I'm not saying it's worse because it is, but if I had to choose. So, I think, like, all the content is, like, very good.
But this is the other thing I will say. When you're a comic book fan, you don't have to like everything. Mm-hmm. And that's your choice too. We all have our favorites and people who we're drawn to and all this. Like for me, I prefer X-Men.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I've preferred X-Men from the get-go.
Oh yeah.
Not saying I don't like Avengers. They've been great movies. Not saying I don't like the spin-offs. They've been great. But X-Men have always been my favourite. Now,
right.
And it's the same with other people. And this is where at times I get annoyed with you. And I'll tell you why.
Me?
Yeah, just listen. You'll understand. There are times when there's something going on, like in regards to the movies or the TV shows for like DC and Marvel, where I watch you try to find the best in a show. Like, because you're a comic book fan, you don't want to fall into the category of, oh, well, I'm a fair weather fan because I don't like this or I don't like that. And my thing is that if you're a fan, you're allowed to be a fan and not like something. Because when you do the reviews of a lot of stuff, and I'm not saying that you don't like it, but there's times when you do reviews of stuff that it doesn't sound as passionate as the ones that you really, really like. And I would rather hear you say, do you know what, it wasn't for me. I see where it's going, but it wasn't for me. Because that's okay too.
I just haven't feel that way with any of them. Probably the only like movie wise that I feel like a little bit that way was like half and half was the Internals. But I wouldn't say
And
it's.
Craven, because you fell asleep.
Oh yeah, the first time I watched Craven, I was like, it was boring. I fell asleep to half of it, and finally got to fully watch it while awake. I kind of underestimated it, and saying like it was good for what it was, but we know it ain't gonna lead to anything after because people didn't particularly like it. So whatever, and hopefully Sony will work with Marvel Studios at least more with like other characters.
Well, it would be nice. There's a few characters that we'll have to do that another time because that's going to end up being a really long conversation.
Right.
That could make really good movies from.
Right.
But it's hold on, I've got to scrap that because you can make a great movie about any of the characters. But it's about having the right actor and the right writers and the right director. Do you know what I mean?
It's just insane. Oh wow, over 32,654 comments. Okay, I'm just gonna say my piece and don't cry too much. Just watch it. If you don't like it after that, after you watch it, and that's fine. Not getting paid to watch it.
Investigators suspected Gardner was also responsible for. So in exchange for a guilty.
Okay, so we're gonna do like a little bit of comparison. So it got over 7 million views. Okay, let's try something else. Superman trailer.
Eyes down. Victims' parents addressing during their impact statements.
Like we're not gonna watch it. I'm just gonna look at comments and stuff like that. Okay, because he's a popular character, the views that this will get is expected. We're over 18 million views. Oh, almost about the same comments as Ironheart. Okay, they like how he changed his voice from Superman to Clark Kent. Okay.
Since I learned of your arrest for
Let's see, just
speak your name. I have called you monster, sociopath, serial killer, animal. You are all of those things.
yeah. This been mainly,
I realize that names like monster and animal, in a perverse way, let you off the hook.
yeah. It's mainly just all positive. It haven't been, no negatives or anything like that. But then again, you got like some YouTubers like kind of worry about, I guess with DC's like track record, they claim that there were movies that were, most of the DCEU was not that good. I think majority of the movies you like, but let's see. The only thing with DC Elseworld that was like okay, but like 50-50 was the second Joker. So I was like half and half on that one. And I know probably what some people may say like it's partly because of the ending of it. I'll say partly that, and it was just like going like all over the place. like how are you gonna have like Harley Quinn? Normally them two would be together, then suddenly she's pregnant with his baby, and decided he's a fake or whatever, then leave him. But I know there's some sequences that Harley Quinn had separate herself from the Joker, but
Yeah, because they show that in.
I know you talk about Birds of Prey.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to say that, but in my mind that sounded like the complete wrong name for it.
No, it was right.
Yeah.
So, and for people that didn't like Birds of
I loved it. I thought it was great.
I did too, but partly it's kind of to blame because the pandemic as well.
Well, yeah, and this is the thing. There was so many things going on that stopped movies from being made, and also then rushed movies, and the pandemic being the main thing.
Right. So probably the movies that y'all probably saw that that's not that good because we had the pandemic. Then
and a lot of them were rushed. It was simple as that.
Right, and plus don't forget about the actors strike too that delayed
Actors and writers.
Yeah, actors and writers strike that delayed some of this stuff. So it was a lot going on this decade. So I probably would give like most of those movies except for two of them a pass, but I'm just looking at more like most of these are like positives. You don't see no negatives or anything like that, but when it comes to hate to say this, but somewhat of a black superhero, some of these people just getting their feelings
because they can't handle a black superhero.
Right.
Their racism won't let it. Without understanding how many freaking black superheroes there are out there.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm just showing y'all, the things like what some people are like with that, like we said, like a black character or like a color
someone
superhero.
of the BIPOC community.
Right. So it's like this, a lot of people did like the Ms. Marvel. But like when it comes to like a black superhero that was like a up and coming star that they made in the 2000s, people like lose their grip. So it's just like a double standard thing, and like it just sucks, but you can't control people or anything like that, so you can't do that, but just only thing you got to do is just prove them wrong, and like if you want to watch like the episodes like multi times, then do so to show
I
your
think
support.
sometimes with some of the shows that come out, and you can agree with me if you want to or not, sometimes you have to watch them a couple of times to get it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Especially if you've got new people, because let's be honest, there are times where you see a character in a comic book and we've done it ourselves and we've gone, oh, so and so would play them really well,
Right?
And then they cast an actor for it. It's like, what the hell is wrong with you? So then you go in with that. I don't want them to be that person,
Right.
And so you may have to watch it a couple of times and be like, well, you know what, shit, they do good.
Okay, like here's the thing right here, because of course Denzel Washington is going to be part of NCU before he officially retires. So he already spoiled that he's going to be on part of Black Panther 3 whenever that's going to get started in release. So a lot of people, I guess a lot of scoops was out there saying like he's going to play Magneto, but the thing is like.
That'd be badass.
Yeah, and plus, who cares? They had a lot of people that's not gonna work. They gotta bring up like World War II and stuff like that. If you want to use like the old characters, like Patrick Stewart and Ian, I can't even say his name right.
Ian McKellen.
Thank you. That story will work for them because when that first X-Men movie was made, that would work for them. But
also, let's go back to the fact. These are men who are in their late 70s, early 80s. I'm not saying they can't act. They can act the fucking life out of shit. Let's be perfectly honest. How long can they play those characters?
Exactly.
That's why when they did redid all the X-Men movies,
Yeah.
why they worked so well, because they got good characters. They did an excellent crossover, let's be perfectly honest. They did an excellent crossover in doing that.
Yeah.
So that you saw who we remember as Magneto and Charles meeting up with Magneto and Charles, you know, and seeing everything and all that lot. And that is a great thing. But you've got to, and we've seen it all the time with people who are snobbish about Superman, who plays Superman.
Oh yeah,
I mean, yeah, Christopher Reeves will always be Superman. Let's be perfectly honest. Our generation thinks it's Superman. We see Christopher Reeves,
right?
But you've got to give people a chance.
Exactly.
Look at Spider-Man. You say to our son, "Who's Spider-Man?" Tobey Maguire.
Yep.
But if Matthew was here, who's Superman? And he would say a different person.
Yep.
And that's okay.
He'll say Tom Holland.
Right, but that's okay.
Right.
The same with Batman. The same with the Joker. It's okay.
Right. And yeah, she is right about that.
I am right.
Sorry for the cussing, guys. We're just going to end it from here because, you know, this probably be a topic that we can, like, talk about all day. And, you know, you can't always win the fans, but at least if you get, like, majority of the fans, you know, liking your product, then you've done your job. So, oh, yeah, and Superman is, like, a way higher budget than anything else. I think it was either higher than Avengers Endgame, exactly. But some people know what with Superman, you know, they might have too many characters to be on there. And I actually think, you know, you're welcome to it. Like, as long as it's like a good story and if it's done right, then yeah, I'll be happy about that. So we are going to see Superman. Then I know we're going to hear like the critic that she was pointing at, Mike. They're probably going to end up criticizing every single time about, you know, that. And I showed him the my trailer, like my reactions to it, and go from there. And you already know. So try to if you can't get the chance to look at the past video, I think it was like a few days ago, you will see it. But anyways, we're going to end it from here. Guys, thank you for watching. Please like this video if you like it. Not only comic book stuff we talk about developments in Milwaukee, Milwaukee Bucks, and wrestling. So if you like that stuff, you like this channel. So, and please subscribe to try and get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We get there early. That's pretty good. We're trying to you know, do some stuff in 2026 for like giveaway prizes and stuff like that. So that's what we're gonna be working on, and where the 1,000 subscribers will come in. If we get, you know, more subscribers than that, you know, I'm not gonna like fully push it, but if we, you know, do subscribe like more than that, then that's great. You know, over 2,700 videos and counting. Check them out. We're also one of the longest ranking channels on YouTube. And also check out the website WrestleFansSpeakOut.weebly.com for like upcoming events in the Midwest. Also, videos like this, and you know, photos of, you know, events that we were at, and like wrestling and Bucks events and stuff like that. So you get a chance, you know, check them out. But thanks to our sponsors, Mike and Robin Thompson and Midwest Wrestling Collectibles. So you're looking for DVDs, VHS, or figures of anything wrestling, you can check them out on Facebook. And don't forget, this month is Mental Health Awareness Month, so please check on your friends and check on your other people. You never know when they're going to actually need it. Well, we don't want to be like, you know, it's too late for them to help them, then, you know, something crazy happens.
I think she stood on something because it's irritating her feet and stuff.
Doesn't look like it. But
if there was ants and everything out there.
Yeah, I'm going to check her other feet. But thank you guys for watching. Until the next video.
Ivy.